Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the delay in starting the session. So, I would like to welcome you all for the session on mindful marketing. So, before we start, I would like to give a few lines about Mr. Rajesh. Mr. Rajesh is a modern marketing and brand strategy consultant and coach. He is a keynote speaker with over 18 years of experience in business strategy, demand generation, and brand building for B2C and B2B companies. His industry experiences include real estate, retail, media, education, so on and so forth. He is the author of three books, namely Mindful Marketing, Marketing Success Formula, and Growth Nuggets. So, Mr. Rajesh, he is a TEDx speaker and he has been invited as a guest to deliver sessions at World Marketing Congress, Bangladesh Brand Summit, and many to mention. As a columnist, Rajesh has published more than 50 articles. He is an alumnus of the IIT Lucknow Executive Education Program and was a topper of the batch. Sir, over to you, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. First of all, I apologize for the delay and slight confusion. Hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, sir. You're audible to every one of us.
Okay, I'm audible, right? Okay, wonderful. I'm quite excited to be here to share my knowledge, about marketing, branding, but very particularly related to startups, right? So it's an exciting area. So now here, usually okay, so when you see a business, we generally sometimes get confused with a lot of other terms, a general business and a startup. So what you really need, I mean, I'm going to share something which I mean, you need a shift at the mindset level itself. We all need that shift at the mindset level itself when you deal with how to create a successful venture. I mean, how to create a successful startup. In general, if you notice, when it comes to startup, if you observe the conversations which happen in the entrepreneurial circle, what happens is people generally see startup from these angles, right? You could hear conversation which says that startup is all about people. You should work really, really hard to make your venture successful. And you should have high level of motivations, read a lot of books, pump up yourself, so clap your hands and all those stuff. And other thing, I mean, I'm a bit uncomfortable. You need to have a good background, could be educational background. You should have business experience. You should have a lot of other things which is attached to it. So when I've seen or researched my experience of working with startups, my experience as as a strategist, as an investor in startups, I've realized something which is quite uncommon. Even when we study big investors like Warren Buffett and the late Charlie Munger, a lot of I mean prudent investors, people who have uh, really understood the business landscape. A startup or a business such, it's the primary aspect. It's not about people. It's about positioning, positioning, positioning. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep things simple. I'm going to share with you some ideas or maybe one specific idea, which I'm going to give it as a key takeaway for this session, as to how you need to achieve, you can achieve this positioning in your startup. And how, because even a famous investor, you must be knowing about, we all know Warren Buffett, right? He says, I wanted to invest in a company which even a fool can run. I mean, this could sound like a very harsh statement for people like us who think it is the people who run the business. What he literally meant was, what is the structural level advantage a business has? Even a fool can run that business. He invested in Coca-Cola, he invested in Gillette, he invested in Apple. All these businesses has structural level advantage. Don't ever, I mean, when I use big names like this, don't think it's not relevant for you as a startup entrepreneur, because all these businesses have a similarity, which I'm going to share in the coming sessions, which even, I mean, highly successful startup share some traits, which is nothing but positioning. But what I mean by positioning is what I'm going to talk about. Okay. So, yeah. So before we dwell into this session, I want you to deeply contemplate on this idea. Contemplate deeply on this idea. If in a forest, a set of animals, the same set of animals, let's say tigers, in that particular forest, there are, let's say, 20, 25 tigers, and there are only 5 deers left inside that forest for food. What would happen? All these tigers will fight amongst each other to get that food. So eventually, who will win? Number one, the tiger which is competent enough to get that food will win, or a tiger which is prudent enough to look for a food other than those 8-9 deers in that particular space would win, right? I mean, this is an evolutionary principle, right? If a set of species, let's say 2 species, compete for the same type of food, same type of resources, they would fight amongst each other and they would die. This is an evolutionary principle. And a gentleman coined a name called competitive exclusion. That can be seen from a business standpoint also. If lot of businesses, you could see this in real estate today, there are a lot of companies and they are fighting for a limited market. What eventually happens? You do not have any advantage at all. People buy purely based on price. You end up giving discounts. Everyone collectively in the ecosystem starts losing money. You're not profitable. Solution? Yes, you need to find what I'm going to share today. And even as a startup, it's very, very important. It's very, very important to get that positioning, to keep this competitive exclusion in your mind. This is an evolutionary principle. What I'm going to share today is nothing but principles, not methods or tools which will become relevant next year or the day after. You can keep these principles in your mind. I would urge you to keep these principles in your mind as long as you're an entrepreneur. Okay. So fine. This is the cartoon which we have drawn. See, now today, if you notice, this consumer markets, we call it as D2C, right? Direct to consumers. What has happened is, because of internet, today anyone can become an entrepreneur. The entry barrier is broken. This is good and this is bad. From competitive standpoint, this is bad. Why I'm saying this is because, let's say you want to start, what do you say? Let's say you wanted to start a beauty product company. What you can do today is you can hire a contract manufacturer. They'll do all the labeling and everything for you. And what you can do is you can choose Amazon, list all those products there. There is a program called Amazon can ship all your products if you deliver it to them. They charge a cut. You must be knowing about it. You build a small website, run a campaign on Facebook. Done. The entry barrier to start a small beauty product businesses. Even you could have noticed during the COVID, and even after that, how many businesses, direct to consumer businesses, we have been seeing in the marketplace. Think about it. The entry barrier to build a business is almost become nil. Anyone can become entrepreneur, but that's why the success rate of a startup, I mean startups which can survive after 1 year, 2 year or 3 year, has diminished considerably. Startup success have become rare because channels are opened up. Media is opened up. Contract manufacturing, product can be developed at a lower cost unless and until you create something with a unique IP. So there are a lot of entrepreneurs in the market, and fighting for that, I mean, similar scenario which I have told in the evolutionary principle, fighting for the similar, I mean, fighting for a limited consumer market, right? If you have doubt, go and type something, a product category in Amazon, and you would notice how many products and how many options you have. And I urge you to see that from a consumer standpoint, not as an entrepreneur standpoint. Just check it out. So what I'm going to do today is, okay, these are the context in which we are playing the game. And I wanted to reveal the truth to you. It's not easy to succeed in today's dynamic environment. At the same time, you can use the same entry barrier is low, right? You can use the same disadvantage and convert it as an advantage by seeing yourself purely from a strategic thinking. You zoom out and see things from multiple angles. So today, what I'm going to share with you is a famous matrix developed by a consulting company called BCG Matrix. If you're on, this is plain MBA stuff, but I'll help you to see through how you can develop a successful startup using this model. So in this BCG matrix, what they say is a company that operates in a high growth market and the company that has high market share usually wins. It's called star business. You can leave alone other businesses which are question marks, dogs. Dog is nothing but market share is low, and your market growth is also low, right? So now you are seeing something not inside your business, the factor which has a structural advantage. It means both the dimensions talk about the market, not your company. It says if your company is positioned in a fast growing market, I'm simplifying it. If your company is positioned in a fast growing market and you are a leader in that market, you are a star business. Let this sink in, okay? We are going to dwell on this idea. This is called star principle. Called star principle. What this principle says, two qualities of a star venture. Two qualities of a star venture. One, It operates in a high growth market. The market has to grow fast, maybe more than 10%. And two, that company is the leader in that market. How it is relevant for you as an entrepreneur? You might think that how can I be a leader in the market? I'm a new company, boss. Are you kidding? No, I'm not kidding. I'm serious. This is for startups. Because this is a mindset rather than something else. So I wanted to inculcate this mindset today inside all of you, so that whenever you try to think of a startup, you take a zoom out and see things from this perspective. You start evaluating your own business, like, is it a star venture? And how a small business, even a small startup, maybe a startup could be in Erode, Karur, Coimbatore, Tirunelveli, Tuticorin, or even Chennai or Kanjipuram. It doesn't matter, because this is a principle. It applies globally. And don't ever think that this principle will apply to my region. Even if you want to start a small salon in, let's say, Dindikal or Vattalagundu, this principle applies. So don't ever, since I use big terms, since I use some principles from big consulting firms, don't ever think that this will not apply for you. Don't ever think that it will not apply for you. It's my sincere request, because I can show you how you can build a startup, star venture in any part of the world. And I'm going to give some examples, okay? So before that, another cartoon for you. See, now, there are three ways to look at your early stage startup. I mean, in the first space, if you notice, an entrepreneur, a person gets on top of the lighthouse and sees that I want to capture this whole market, total available market, right? I mean, the startup terminology. Then the same person, what he does is he found that is not viable. He's in a very early stage of the market, very early stage of the business. So he comes down from that lighthouse, and he decided to take a ship, and he ventures into the sea, and he's throwing the net and trying to capture a reasonable market, because now he's not in a dream state seeing a big market. Right now he's seeing a serviceable market, which I can service. So another prudent way is, the same entrepreneur or another prudent entrepreneur, what he decides is, he doesn't even use the ship. He sits at the corner of the sea with his own small fishing net, and throws that net into the market, and he really captures the fish. I believe even if you're a small startup entrepreneur, this mindset is very, very important for all of us. We need to, I mean, there is a famous proverb: do what you can with what you have from where you are. So even the principle which I've shared, STAR principle, emulate this principle into your own region, in whatever you do. Don't, I mean, think big is a good idea, but it shouldn't, whenever we have limited resources, it's better to think small and execute, and then learn, and then get into the bigger stuff. Most of the times, thinking big without taking the next small step, without doing testing, experimenting or startup in a small area, is not going to take us forward. We might end up living in a state of dream, right? So this cartoon we have drawn to illustrate that. So how many of you know this company called Balakrishna Industries? Let's see, someone is responding, or someone wants to come live and talk about this company. How many of you know this company? Yeah, Aravind Pillai. Yeah, please come on live, Aravind.
It's a tire.
Yeah, it's a tire company. What's special about this company? Yeah, you're right, 100%. That's a right answer, Aravind.
Actually, it's ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்கா ஹெவி மைனிங் அந்த மாதிரி இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸ்க்கு யூஸ் பண்ற வெஹிக்கிள்ஸ்க்கு யூஸ் பண்ற டயர்ஸ் மட்டும் மேனுஃபேக்சரிங் பண்றாங்க.
Yes, exactly. I mean, இந்த கம்பெனி ரொம்ப நாள் எக்ஸிஸ்டன்ஸ்ல கிடையாது. பட் I mean, this company is not in existence for a long time, but they are market leaders. If you take the stock market, this company has given extreme returns for the investors. Why? Because it's the star company, right? Now, I've shared it with you, a principle, right? If you remember, a star company, a star principle, a star venture is the company that operates in a fast-growing market, and it is a leader in that market. The leader, when I use the term leader, most of us get threatened. How can I be a leader in a market? You could add a term. You can be a leader in a small niche market. This company, that niche market is massive. This company its competition is MRF, all the biggies. But how can you start a business where if you are asked to compete MRF, if you are asked to compete Michelin, global biggies on tires, what you would do? This company has separated the main tire market into two. They have divided the market into two. Conventional tires, traditional tires, then tires for agriculture, tires for heavy equipments, as Aravind rightly said. Very, very specialized, fast-growing segment. That's the beauty of it. This company is not even known to many. Not many know. It's not like MRF, Michelin, Apollo tires. Not even known to many in the recent days. But you go and check it out. They are doing extremely well. Highly profitable company in India. These are the type of tires they manufacture. As a startup entrepreneur, the mindset which I wanted you to inculcate is, please start seeing businesses that are doing really, really well. And under what principle? Don't just see that at a superfluous level. I don't mean that. Why they are successful, on what parameter they are successful. This company is successful is because it is a star venture. Fits exactly into the BCG matrix of star principle. Swiggy and Zomato, market leaders in a high growth market. But if you are asked, here is a challenge for you, let me see. If you are asked to start a delivery startup today, competing these two companies, what type of food delivery startup you would start? Can someone take up this challenge and share their thought? By using the similar principle of dividing the market like Balakrishna Industries, what type of delivery startup you would start competing against Swiggy and Zomato? Who wants to take the challenge? Someone wants to take the challenge and share? Okay, no problem. Archana? Yeah, good, Archana. Please go ahead. Give it a try. There is no right or wrong answer. I want to seed some thoughts in your mind for the next half an hour or so. Yes. Appreciate it.
So there was this concept of dabbawalas in Bombay. wherein everyone can get food which is cooked from outside and delivered to your home. But now people are also getting conscious about the fact of having healthy food. So if there is a service to deliver your home cooked food at your office daily, I would think maybe something would be like a different thing. Not exactly
Good.
having outside food daily, but having your home cooked food delivered to you.
Good share. Anyone else? Good share, Archana. Thank you so much. Yes, someone has raised the hand.
Yeah, this is Shyam.
Ayush. Yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Ayush. Make it short, please. Ayush, you are muted. You have to unmute and speak. Hello? Yeah, Shafi, can you go ahead, unmute and speak?
Hello, sir. I can now was given the permission. Sir, I
Yeah.
would start a specialized delivery business which particularly deliver medicines from local store to our apartment, and specifically for the senior citizen who are unable to visit.
Okay, why shouldn't I use Dunzo vis-a-vis your startup?
Yeah.
Ask this question. So I think critically. Ask a question as to why I shouldn't use a Dunzo. Why a senior citizen can use Dunzo? They have a massive infrastructure rather than you starting a business which is very, very similar to Dunzo. I've told you a principle, right? Don't ever that competitive exclusion, evolution. If you try to fight with a massive species, you have to do two things. One, you have to become very strong than that species. If there is no option, you have to find a different food. That's the prudent way, right? So think about it. Okay, Azer, please go ahead.
Yeah, this is Deepak, CWAT Meditate. So what I would deliver is, so there is a lot of companies and factories are there which is having a tea breaks, so which every person coming into the Excel or Scooty with the snacks and teas. So what I can do is, so I can massively deliver tea and coffees and the snacks to the particular factories and the governments which are on me.
Okay, again, the same question. Why? I mean, Swiggy and Zomato as a massive network. Even tea they serve from different tastes of tea from different brands are already available in Swiggy and Zomato.
Yeah. So
why should I choose your startup?
Okay, so it's going to be the recurring order. So every time, so there will be a minimum order of 20 to 30 teas and snacks in the every companies around me. So it's gonna be the recurring order, recurring delivery, and that will be a same food for the every time. So it's not about the different food, different varieties.
Good try. Yeah. See, you have to keep
Sir,
this in my mind.
Sir, this is Nandini.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 minute, Nandini.
So, two things I envisage. One is Swiggy and Zomato is not reachable in rural areas. One area. And the other thing is the cost Swiggy and Zomato or Dunzo, whatever these pronounced people, the cost could be low. Then we can sell our business.
Okay. Good try. Good try. See, there are two criteria. I'm just trying to pull back to the principle, star principle, right? So all of you, whenever you evaluate an idea, think that, are you the leader? Honestly, look at the entire market. Are you the niche leader, even a small leader in that space? Number two, is that market fast growing? If the market is not fast growing, and number two, if already a company is serving really, really well in the idea which you are choosing, then you will bleed. then you will start fighting. All the other conversations comes into play. We have to fight, we have to work hard, we have to get more funding. Startups are all about motivation and all those stuffs click in. If you want to get into the structural advantage, please reorient. That's what I wanted to share. Don't get into the idea quickly, jump into the idea quickly. Right, am I a niche leader in this space? Click. Number two, only 2 rules. Number 2, is this market growing fast? So I will add certain criteria. Those are good shares, good attempts. I really appreciate people are bold enough to come and share their thoughts. Truly appreciate it. So I parallelly request you to keep, dwell into the principles which I am sharing. So I'm going to deep dive into how you create your star venture. And I'm also going to give a lot of examples for you to, first you have to see the star businesses which are in the market. See as many as stars as possible. Then you will be able to crack it. Don't get into the ideation quickly. The first step is you have to divide the market into 2. One is main market, the mass market. Then your small market. Right? Etch this in your mind. 2, select a high growth niche. Thus, market has to grow. Otherwise, after you do the startup, your company, 2-3 years, the market dries out. 3, you need to have target a specific group of customers. These are rules, right? I have not defined it. All the successful startups are rare. One thing I wanted to tell you, successful startups are very rare. You have to accept this truth. The world only projects the successful startups. For every Google, there are a lot of other, I'm sharing with you the truth. A lot of 150, 200 startups, maybe even more, fails. In behavioral psychology, they call it as survivorship bias. We only see the successful companies in the newspaper, media, companies that get funded. But how many startups fail each day? To be very honest, we have to study those startups also, why they have failed, rather than just seeing the successful startups. I've studied both. So here, okay, let's come back to the point. Divide the market, number 1. Select a high growth niche. Target your customers. What do I mean by that? I'll show you some examples. So let's stop it here. First 3 points. And go back and see Balakrishna Industries or let's specifically see Balakrishna Industries. That company has divided the tire market into 2. The main tire market. The reason why I'm taking that company, because I have no relationship with that company, because these are concepts. If I don't introduce how these concepts are really played in the market, you will not get it. So that's why I'm sharing some case studies for you to emulate. They have separated the entire market, tire market, into 2, divided the market. The whole conventional tire market used for passenger segment, like cars that we use for a daily basis. And then a niche segment, industrial application, industrial agriculture segment. Observe this, the main car market doesn't serve you cannot buy the tire in the main market and use it for industrial and agricultural segment. Right? See the 3rd point. They have very clear target customers. Very clear target customers. MRF cannot serve this industrial and agriculture segment because the tire requirements, the big tires, bulldozer tires, tractor tires, yes, and all the other special vehicles and equipments. 4, the benefits of this new niche is quite obvious, right? You need rough and tough. The specifications have to be different. And 5, obviously, since you are the only one company, one or two company in that niche market, your profitability will be high. Customers will be willing, because they cannot buy the tires of MR, Apollo, or other tires. You can charge higher prices, or you can charge the low price. Either one is good, and you achieve profitability. It's a see how it is continued. All these steps are interlinked, right? And then these are branding areas. 6 and 7 is pretty much about branding. You just name your niche and then brand it effectively. So these are the last layers which you can do at the end of your startup journey. But most of the time we end up jumping into this part without understanding the competitive positioning, or asking the question, what is the structural level advantage which I have as an entrepreneur? And one request, we all entrepreneurs should stop having this bias. That bias, I call it as kakaikum tankunju ponkunju. That bias we need to avoid. What happens is, usually when it is our own venture, when it is our own idea, we fall in love with it. Unconsciously it happens. It happens to me, it happens to every single human being. We started loving our kids like it's like our own idea, right? Our own company. And we become closed. So it's good that the fundamental idea of the sessions like this is to break our own bias. And one main bias is kakaikum tankunji ponkunji bias. Okay. So this was a new company. It's a startup. It's not a 40-year-old, 50-year-old company like Colgate, right? See how this company has become a star company. They divided, they are competing with Colgate. Colgate is in the business for more than 80, 90, 100 years. This company has started, 15 years back. It's a startup. It's not a conventional, traditional company, but it's a startup from a established group, right? What did they do to become successful? Colgate, as a market leader, served the mass market. It served toothpaste la uppurka. It served lot of things. This company has found that how can we play? They found sensitivity as a big problem. Tooth sensitivity as a problem. What they did is they created a niche offering called a toothpaste for sensitivity. A toothpaste for not for beautiness.
1 second. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Sir, நீங்க சொல்லிருந்தீங்கல சார் இப்போ எப்படி வந்து ஸ்விக்கி சமாட்டோ மாதிரி மார்க்கெட் பிடிக்கலாம்னு இப்போ அவங்க வந்து என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா
யார் Shafi, can you just hold? I'll finish off this and I'll allocate some time to share. Yeah. Thanks, Shafi. I'm going to take you on live. Okay, please wait. Konjam wait pannunga. Fine. Sensodyne applies the same star principle. It's a star company. They divided the market, toothpaste market, into two. One is all those Pepsodent, Colgate, Dabur, and all those things. My market is sensitivity market. And they found that sensitivity is a big problem to solve, not a small problem. High growth rate. Go back to those first three principles of STAR. Divide the market. Sensodyne has done that. Panitanga. Sensitivity is a high growth market. Third, target your customers. They are targeting if you have sensitivity problem, if you go to a dentist, and most dentists say sensitivity problem, you will not buy Colgate, you will not buy Pepsodent, you will buy Sensodyne, because namely clearly category is defined. Sensodyne is for sensitivity. The market size may not be as big as Colgate, right? But you are dominating a niche. then the benefits of the niche comes in. Your profitability kicks in automatically. You can better brand it. You can better market it very clearly. Since you're very clear about who your audience is, your marketing strategy becomes way, way easy. What message do I need to draft? Becomes easy. Who is the ambassador? For Sensodyne, they're very clear. They don't hire any celebrities. They just ask doctors to come and say that sensitivity problem, I recommend this. Every of your tactics becomes very easy if you solve 1, 2, 3. But unfortunately, people, when we think of marketing, people think that what media? Facebook? Can we advertise in Facebook, Instagram? Or what creative we can use? Who's the celebrity? How much money we can spend on marketing? Can we use YouTube? Which influencer to use? We get into the tactical stuff so quickly and forget about positioning at all. So that's one of the challenges which I face as a marketer, because most people correlate marketing with advertising. Marketing is equal to advertising. That's what most people think. Marketing starts way before you launch the product. If you have a structural level advantage covering the first 3 points, your marketing takes care of itself. Your message takes care of itself. Your media takes care of itself. Your creative takes care of itself. Okay. Another new company, a star business. Traditionally, we all know chocolate only as a, funny stuff, right? This company is doing really, really well these days. They have clubbed chocolates for health enthusiasts. See the market, very clear, specific market for gym goers or health enthusiasts. They have divided the market. This market is huge. We know, right? How people are fond of health these days. Protein, protein irka, oats irka, millets irka, almonds irka. Go and check, see YouTube, Instagram. People are crazy about health these days. Third star principle rule. They are targeting a specific market, but this market is massive, big. And see how well they have branded. Name itself defines the category, yoga bar. Bar is chocolate. Yoga illustrates something about health. Multi-grain energy bar. Everything falls in place. Everything falls in place. And most importantly, you could say that I have shared only the big company names. This restaurant I visited 2 years back, I guess, 2-3 years back, along with my wife and son. It's in Ananagar. The restaurant, conventional old restaurant, but there is a twist. This is a star restaurant, I would say. Star venture. Full of crowd. Full of crowd. Every day it's crowded. Not every day, I would say, most of the times. Why? It's a restaurant, haunted restaurant, pay restaurant. See how they have divided the entire restaurant market into two. All the restaurants. And here is a first haunted restaurant. See, they have taken an idea from a different place. This is another thing which I wanted to share it with you. Combining two different things. Restaurant is convention. Restaurants are everywhere. But horror. There is a set of audience who loves horror, right? Entertainment. Let's say entertainment. So can there be a restaurant for Sangeedam restaurant? Think about it. I'm leaving the clue to you. Similar principle. See the underlying principle. That's what I am saying. As I show you all these case studies, see the underlying principle behind these successful startups. This restaurant is there now. I guess they have launched a lot of startup, branches. Haunted restaurant. what other restaurant, I'm going to ask you, keeping this principle in mind, what are the some unique restaurants you would launch which doesn't exist now? Let's see who answers that. Star restaurant. Give a try. There is nothing right or wrong. Shafi, yeah, please go ahead, Shafi. Mute. Unmute. Shafi, unmute பண்ணிட்டு பேசுங்க. Yeah, Shomasundaram, please unmute and go ahead.
Sir, good evening, sir, and very interesting, and you are giving a lot of insights. Very nice, thank you. And sir, just adding one more thing with reference to the content restaurant in Bangalore. There is a very successful retail food retail chain that's called Rameswaram Cafe. It is very successful, and per month, they have each branch is clocking nearly 4.5 crore turnover, and they are serving only South authentic food, sir, veg food, sir.
Yes.
And very heavily crowded and very, very different and purely authentic. Actually, Kanjipuram idli is available in Bangalore now. That
Yes.
sort of a food there. Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to tell what principle they have used, Kanjipuram,
yes,
to be successful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for
sir.
the
Thank
share. That's a
Thank
good
you, sir.
example. That's a good example, Somasundaram. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, Anu, go ahead. Keep it short, please.
Hello. Sir, good evening.
Yeah, Shafi, go ahead. Keep it short, please.
சார் இப்போ நார்மல் ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் எடுத்தீங்கன்னா வந்து எல்லா ஃபுட்ஸும் அங்கே கிடைக்குமா? பட் இன்ன வரைக்கும் சென்னையில ஒரு இல்லாத ஒரு ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் பாத்தீங்கன்னா கிரீன் வெஜிடபிள்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்றோம்ல, கீரை வகைகள். இப்போ நம்ம எல்லாம் என்ன பண்றோம்னா வந்து அதிகமா புரோட்டீன் எது இருக்கு, எது விட்டமின்ஸ் அதிகம், எது மினரல்ஸ் அதிகம்னு பாக்குறோம். பட் வந்து வெஜிடபிள்ஸ் மட்டுமே இருக்கிற மாதிரி ஒரு ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் இன்ன வரைக்கும் சென்னையிலேயே இல்லை. அந்த மார்க்கெட் நம்ம கேப்சர் பண்ணலாம். எப்படின்னா இப்போ நம்ம ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து ஃபுல்லா கிரீன் ஐட்டம்ஸ் சாப்பிடலாம். எப்படின்னா இருக்கிற எல்லா கீரை வகைகளும் இங்க கிடைக்கும். அது வச்ச டிஷ்ஷஸ் அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணும்போது வெறும் புரோட்டீன் தேவை, விட்டமின் தேவைன்ற வர்றவங்களுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி நம்ம சர்வ் பண்ணலாம் சார்.
குட். ஐம் ஸ்டாப்பிங் ஹியர். நீங்க இன்னொரு விஷயம் ஐடியா எவாலுவேட் பண்ணும்போது ஒரு மைண்ட் செட் என்ன கொண்டு வரணும்னா, டோன்ட் ஜம்ப் இன்டு சொல்யூஷன், ஜம்ப் இன்டு த ப்ராப்ளம். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் நான் என்ன மீன் பண்றேன் அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, நீங்க சொன்ன கேஸ்லயே ஈவன் இன் யுவர் கேஸ் ஷஃபி, what I mean is that a market? Is that a growing market? Idea sounds good. Okay. Idea, கீரை வகைகள் உள்ள restaurant. That's what you're saying. Is there a need? Is that market growing?
சிட்டி சைட்ல இருக்கிறவங்க நிறைய கீரை சாப்பிடுறது சார். நம்ம சீப்பாவும் நமக்கு கிடைக்கும். அதை நம்ம ஈஸியா வந்து மார்க்கெட் பண்ணலாம். அதுக்கான டார்கெட் கஸ்டமர்ஸ் நம்ம அட்ராக்ட் பண்ணலாம் சார். ஏன்னா சிட்டி சைட்ல கீரை வகைகள் அதிகமா கிடைக்காது. இப்போ நம்ம ஏதாச்சும் ஒரு கீரை தேவைப்பட்டா நம்ம அதுக்குன்னு தனியா மார்க்கெட் போயிட்டு சாப்பிடணும். பட் நம்ம இந்த மாதிரி ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணும்போது அதுக்கான ஆடியன்ஸ் நமக்கு அட்ராக்ட் ஆகி வருவாங்க.
குட். பட் நீங்க எதுலயுமே some kind of testing and experimenting has to be done before you study and understand the market. நீங்க இதுல for example the reason why haunted is successful is because the idea, I mean, they've tested this in one restaurant in Anna Nagar. I mean, every idea has to be, I mean, as a startup entrepreneur, இன்னொரு விஷயம் என்னன்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, you have to think scientifically. It means some amount of testing, small level, and experimentation has to be done. உங்களுக்கு அது காமிச்சிரும். For example, I would say, before even starting your கீரை வகை restaurant, before even starting hiring a place, hiring a chef or hiring a cook, you could even launch a கீரை வகை in Zomato and start cooking, வீட்லயே cook பண்ணி delivery, I mean small testing I'm saying, delivery பண்ணி பார்க்கலாம். If there is a traction there, it's for sure if you open a restaurant, it will open, because we need some kind of traction. As much as I say or share a lot of ideas, you have to be very, very strict in testing and experimenting your own ideas in some way. Okay, yes. So we have to be very prudent on that. That's a good share, Safi. Anyway, that's a good thought. I mean, I totally agree with you that Kirai Vakaigal are becoming very famous, but you just need to see the pull. I mean, sometimes the healthy market, there is no pull at all. Have to be very cautious, right? I mean, in terms of growth rate. Yeah, who wants to share next? Someone said they want to share.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Shafi. Yeah, let's move ahead, right? Okay, so the key idea, another key idea is, in all the examples which I have seen, the needs and preferences of the customers in the niche market is different from the main market. See all the company which you have done. Let's take Yoga Bar and see this. The needs and preferences of the Yoga Bar customers is different from the main chocolate market. Cadbury, I mean, Cadbury and other chocolates, bars, particularly chocolate bars, are totally different from Yoga Bar. Right? See how unique this company is. When you devise a solution for one specific market, your company becomes very unique and you are nicely positioned. For example, I'll tell you, I used to think about this as a marketing strategist. There are a lot of digital marketing companies, right? So we see the digital marketing companies all across. How would you apply STAR principle if you want to start a digital marketing company? I asked this question when I was discussing with one entrepreneur. If you're starting today as a digital marketing agency, he asked me, Rajesh, there are already hell a lot of digital marketing companies and agencies. What you would do, keeping the STAR principle in mind? I said, I've shared some perspective to him. There are a lot of dentists, right? A digital marketing company for dentists, a digital marketing company for healthcare professionals, doctors, healthcare hospitals, small hospitals. Now, if you go out, take your car and go out, see how many dentists are there in the market and how many uniquely positioned digital marketing companies. There are companies overseas, but even in India, I've seen few companies. But again, you choose markets. If not dentists, digital marketing is a mass market product, right? What specific target markets? Because I'm telling you, the needs, the marketing needs of a dentist is different from the marketing needs of a real estate company or a product company or a lot of companies, right? Doctors are different. And if you create a digital marketing offering only for a particular segment of market, you become a very unique digital marketing firm. So that's what we have been discussed. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to share with you some ways to generate STAR ideas. I mean, we have discussed about STAR principle and STAR companies, right? So I have even shared about this. The first one we have been discussing. Find a subcategory. I mean, niche it down. Amongst a big category, find a small subcategory, a growing subcategory, and be the leader. And other one is ideas from other place. Our friend, I think Soma Sundaram, shared this, right? And before that, this example. Facebook is a mass market social media app. LinkedIn is a professional network. I mean, they are clear STAR business, right? LinkedIn, even though Facebook was very famous, even though Instagram is very famous, LinkedIn is also a social media company, but see, they are serving a different market. If you were to start a social media company today, you can further divide this market and deep dive into it. But is it viable? That's another question. So the second idea is, second way to generate unique STAR business ideas. See, one thing before this I wanted to share. Most entrepreneurs, most startups, more marketing professionals like me used to think your idea has to be unique. என்னோட ஐடியா இந்த உலகத்துல யாருமே இதுக்கு முன்னாடி பண்ணியிருக்கவே கூடாது. Should be very, very novel. I'll tell you the secret. There is nothing called novelty in the world. எல்லாமே ஏதோ, everything is a combination or mix of something else, which is already available in the whole universe. Right? That is breakthrough innovation. When we invented aeroplane, but already something of sort like aeroplane was already existent, which was that பறவைகள் ஆல்ரெடி ஒன்று பறந்துட்டு இருந்ததை பார்த்து அதோட mechanism is nothing but aeroplane. It's a breakthrough innovation is because the gap is huge, right? We have emulated something from totally a different species, but flying was already possible. A species was already flying. A species was already swimming, and we emulated that species and built boats, submarines, and everything, which is nothing but fish. இன்னைக்கு நௌக்கரின்னு ஒரு பெரிய கம்பெனி ஸ்டாக் மார்க்கெட்ல இட்ஸ் ரூலிங் ஃபார் த லாஸ்ட் 15 years. பட் நௌக்கரி வாஸ் ஆல்ரெடி தேர் இன் 1995. நான் ஜாப் மார்க்கெட் சர்ச் பண்ணும்போது we used to get ஹிந்து கிளாசிஃபைட்ஸ்ல நியூஸ் பேப்பர் பிரிண்ட்ல வரும். வாட் நௌக்கரி did, they just took that niche from news media, print media, அந்த மாதிரி print நியூஸ் பேப்பர்ல வந்ததுல they have done it in a different platform. So as an entrepreneur or startup business, see things from different things, right? Even matrimony, already there. Yes, it's they have just moved from newspaperல ஒரு columnல வந்துட்டு இருந்தது, அப்படியே it became online. That's it. So what are the businesses which are still left? It could be, if you take a small newspaper, just for ideation purpose, tomorrow if you go and take Dinagaran and see the classified session, which classified session is not yet available in an online platform? Good place to see. Yes, it could be a very small niche. See, I'm telling you, a lot of people ignore. We don't see the gaps properly. You don't see the market gaps properly. The world is very, very abundant. You can still find a lot of small star ideas. So what does the second thing means? Ideas from star places. See, I'll tell you a quick story. Starbucks, I mean, we have time, right? Another 5-10 minutes. Starbucks founder, Howard Schultz, I believe in 1970s. In the Starbucks வரதுக்கு காரணம் என்னன்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, he launched Starbucks as a normal coffee vending company, right? Brewing company. So while he was doing it, he was casually visiting Italy. This business was running in America, right? Italyக்கு போறாரு. Italyல he saw, I mean, every street as an espresso. அங்கே coffee lovers, coffee brew பண்ணி, that aroma, and people used to sit closely amongst each other and they drink coffee and then socialize. He saw that. But there was no formal business. It was just casually happening in the streets of Italy. Howard Schultz just lifted this idea and came back and emulated that in America. Starbucks became a worldwide brand. From a coffee vending and brewing company into a community experience. Coffee plus community. But where did he get this idea? His visit to Italy. The idea which was prevalent in Italy was not prevalent anywhere in the world, particularly the big market, America. It was lying there dormant in the streets of Italy. And this entrepreneur, the founder of Red Bull, before finding Red Bull, he was a salesman. He visited Thailand. He was casually traveling in a rickshaw. And he saw on the rickshaw man, they started drinking kratom, something like kratom in that terms. It's a health drink for them, for that rickshawalas and local health workers. He saw a potential and converted that same formula as Red Bull for the world, right? So what I'm saying here, all I'm saying is, if you're seeing, you take Ola, Uber, take Ola as an example, Flipkart as an example. Where did these ideas come from? Ola in Western market, it was very, very famous 15 years back itself. Flipkart is a copycat of, sorry to use that word, it's a copycat of Amazon. Most of the e-commerce business were already prevalent in Western markets. All these founders know well about the Western markets, right? So, I mean, what I'm saying is, there are a lot of ideas which could be emulated from other markets also. Maybe an idea which is there in Maharashtra may not be available in Tamil Nadu. An idea which is still famous in Singapore could well adapt to the Tamil Nadu market and the Indian market. So there is a leverage there. So that's how you build a star business, right? So take Starbucks itself as an example. What Coffee Day did is, they've created a mid-segment and another variation of Starbucks in India. It worked, right? So see this. So some other ways to create star ideas, create something tailored for a specific demographic. What do I mean by specific demographic? For a specific segment of people market available, can you create? How? See, this company is a startup. It started, I think, way back 10, 15 years back. What they do, they are a real estate company which creates homes for senior living, elders. இதுல என்னன்னா மெயினா நம்மளுக்கு இருக்கிற வீட்ல இல்லாத சில ஸ்பெஷாலிட்டிஸ் சீனியர் லிவிங் ஹவுஸ்ல இருக்கும். ஈவன் பாத்ரூம், ரெயிலிங்ஸ், மெடிக்கல் கேர் ஃபெசிலிட்டிஸ், a unique product for a specific demography of people. நான் உங்கள்கிட்ட சொன்னல, the needs and preferences of the main market, ஒரு ரூல் சொன்னல, the needs and preferences of the main market are quite different from the mass market. They have applied this rule, right? So next idea, which I have shared it with you, is turn a commoditized market into a branded space. Idhulu naraya opportunities you have. What Fipola did, see, I remember in my childhood days, I was born and raised in Tanjavur. We used to go and buy meat, fish, or mean market. Chennai, there are a lot of mean markets even these days. What Fipola did, a commodity unorganized market, they have converted into a branded space. Lot of business, lot of ideas could emerge if you just see Kachada and convert it as a brand, right? That's what even MedPlus did. Big corporate companies, but still it can be done by entrepreneurs like you, even in a small city or a space. They saw a lot of medical shops, unorganized space. They created a massive supply chain, created MedPlus. Now, I used to visit a lot of, in the Corona, I used to visit a lot of the Nattu Marundu Kadai. I used to buy a lot of things. I even saw there can be a chain of Nattu Marundu Kadai across Tamil Nadu. Why not? People are actively, when I go and stand there, even these days, my wife, sometimes when I'm here in Chennai, I used to go and buy their stand for some time. Lot of queue, lot of demand for that. Why not a branded chain of Nattu Marundu Kadai? So very important. That's what I wanted to see this thought to you. I don't want to take much of time and share a lot of things and make you overwhelmed. One simple idea, see things from the star principle mindset. And this has worked, boss, both men and women out here. I believe in something which is working already, And a lot of big, even Google, take any successful startups. Google is a star venture. Even it has continued its star presence these days. Though we see a competition these days because data infringement. There is another small star business which is going, it's called DuckDuckGo. You must have heard about DuckDuckGo, which is a competition of Google. What they do is, உங்களோட டேட்டாவை நாங்க ஸ்டீல் பண்ணவே மாட்டோம். We will not show any advertisement to you. That's their promise. See, on one hand, Google is a star venture. You can still create a star venture out of your competition if you're very prudent as to what is the needs and preferences of the market. Right? Take any business. There is a company, HDFC Home Loan is a star business. Even in your own street, you could see some small shop, which is Chai Kings, is kind of a star venture. They moved out commoditized. Now a lot of competition has caught up. But think about it. You can very well, I mean, if you're a group of, 84 people, you start thinking about, is my business a star business? You could do a brainstorming session. Keep everything aside. How am I going to manage it? How am I going to bring people in? How am I going to fund it? Keep everything aside. Be fresh. Remove all the bias, particularly my own idea bias. Right? That's my sincere request. Don't worry about product, people, because when your idea has high level of market orientation, your probability of winning is way high. What I'm saying is, you no need of struggling, hard work, because you have a structure that will be a pull. Right? That will be a pull for your idea from the market. I mean, it's like, if you're a great singer, நீங்க ஒரு நல்ல பாடகரா இருந்தீங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், your friends will உங்க கையை பிடிச்சி இழுத்துக்கு ஸ்டேஜுக்கு வாங்க வந்து பாடுங்க அப்படின்னு people would say. அந்த மாதிரி if you have a structural level advantage where you find, I mean, marketல already ஒரு மாஸ் மார்க்கெட்ல இதுக்கு நீங்க பெரிய ஐடியாலாம் பண்ண வேண்டியதில்லை. I am throwing you one specific principle. See the mass market and take away a small space from that mass market, like all the examples that I have done. Don't get into that, let's not get into that idea of novelty and spend our energy there. When you apply star principle, customers will see your business as a novel business, not we as entrepreneurs seeing our business as novel business. Right? And competition is a great friend for us. And I hear people saying, நம்மலாம் competition பத்தியே worry பண்ணக்கூடாது. This comes from motivation. The motivation talk லாம், competition லாம் worry பண்ணவே, you are great, you are the giant, don't worry. Competition matters, boss, in business, because we are operating in a place where competition is it's like an evolutionary place, where even if you find a good idea and if you don't leverage on that idea, someone else will come and start. Even if you clap your hands and say that you're a motivated person, another person will start a business. If he has more funds than us, he will quickly scale up our idea also. So I think think like a strategist. Accept the fact that there is competition and you leverage the competition. For example, what Balakrishna Industries did is, they saw the competition and took this idea. What Yoga Bar did, they saw the competition. They saw you clearly have the courage to see the competition. And what you do is ensure that you don't imitate. You become a different breed altogether. You can become a different breed only by seeing the competition. See, it's something like this. You know the yin and yang principle, Chinese principle, right? There should be a competing force for you. Your competition is your competing force. Without, you just see your competition as a company which sends you customers. Because, for example, na Asiana Housing sonnalla, if I want to buy a home, yes, there are a lot of companies, but for a senior living home, I will choose Asiana Housing. Asiana Housing is part of the big real estate market. That's what I'm saying. Right? So you see your competition and find a small space inside the competition itself. That's what all the big companies did. All the good companies did. And we do this by visiting the market, by just not sitting or spending time on ideation inside the room. And I lately realized this. Even in my days, good days, I used to read a lot of books. I used to attend a lot of courses, conferences, all those things. But Angela Pona, every other idea will come into my mind. The only place where we get real insight is going to movies, going to shopping along with my wife, watching Netflix, watching those. I mean, the best way to become a good entrepreneur is to become a good customer. Do your konjanalaki sometimes as a practice. Go to a bank and see, observe the pain of the customer first hand. I mean, there is one more concept which I wanted to say. It's called founder market fit. Aதாவது, founder market fit is nothing but you have faced something in your life. You have faced something in your life and nobody solves that problem now. That could be a good startup. Right? நீங்கள் லைஃப்ல ஏதோ ஒன்று ஃபேஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க, ஏதோ ஒன்று நடந்திருக்கு உங்களுக்கு, அதை நீங்க சால்வ் பண்ணணும்னு தேடும் போது நிறைய பேர் சால்வ் பண்றாங்க. அதை நீங்க எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ற அளவுக்கு டீப்பா இறங்கி சால்வ் பண்ணல. If you are a customer of your own product or a company, you are better placed. You get a better competitive positioning. That's why if you notice, let's say, now ஒரு example கொடுக்குறேன். If you are a health enthusiast, let's say you are a gym, you go to gym, you are naturally a bodybuilder. You know the pain and preferences, what is there in the market, what lacks in the gym. ஏன் ஜிம் மெம்பர்ஷிப்லாம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர் பிகினிங்ல நல்லா இருக்கு, போக சரிஞ்சிருது. You know that, so you can devise a better solution, right? So that's what you become your own customer. You start wearing. What happens is when we become an entrepreneur, we become truly inward focused. We love our idea, business, loan, funding. So we get into that space. So that's very, very critical. I'm not denying that. But in a week, 10-20% become a customer. Venture out. I've heard saying Sam Walton of Walmart. In his initial days of his business, அவரோட சுயசரிதை நான் படிக்கும்போது, he was sharing, he was visiting all the competition store in the vicinity as a customer. And he used to stand right in front of the store and talk to customers, interact with customers. So that's how you build the good positioning or good ideation for your business, right? So, I mean, all these cartoons are available in my new book also. It's called Mindful Marketing. I've launched this book recently. So I'm ending this session. Now we have some time for questions also, right? Yeah. I'm ending this session now. I'm so sorry, we have stretched a bit. Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, I can take up some questions if some of you have. Hello? Yeah, Ayush. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Hello.
First Ayush and then Sachin. Yeah. Keep it short, Ayush.
Sir, yeah, so what If we started our memo means we take one idea, we make a product around it, and we now ventured our business and now providing selling those bicycles. So can we now we can do this distribute extra or we should start from scratch? Because there's a lot of confusion.
No, what's your confusion?
So we started, we are into the business of micro mobility as well. We provide
Sorry, micro? Your voice is not audible.
mobility. Micro mobility.
Okay, what does it mean?
Basically, sir, we provide the electric bicycles to students, particularly who are under age below for their daily commute, which are less than 30 kilometers.
Okay.
So it's a niche segment of very big mass market. But what the challenges we face is that it's a very high capex oriented business, and we face a lot of struggle to position ourselves because there are a lot of established companies like Hero, Avon, Hercules.
Yeah.
So we are unable to create or to differentiate ourselves. So is there any framework or in which area we need to work on?
Yeah, you just try to see things from the star principle. Can you target? I mean, yeah, I understand mobility, but yeah, there are a lot of established players in the market. Why don't you try to apply the same principle of dividing the market? Can you target a specific market with specific needs? Because I don't have an answer now. I'm just asking you, you have to dwell into this question. Can I use the same mobility maybe for a senior? I'm just throwing some broad light. I may be wrong. Maybe for a senior citizen, maybe for a specific set of people, which the main cycle market, mobility market doesn't provide. Can you just customize the product for them? So that's what star principle is all about, right? Because if you compete with the main market, because the main market is already well established, your concern is so valid. You cannot compete with them heads on with the same proposition. You need some different kind of proposition to a unique market. Maybe for I mean, these days, you find a lot of cycle enthusiasts, right? People who are fond of cycling. What are their requirements? Is the main market solving that problem? Yeah, some kind of niche market. I mean, maybe you have to think about it. It requires some kind of deep contemplation, which is needed. But I offered you a framework today. You can use that framework to think about it. Yes, you should go ahead. Yeah. You need to unmute and talk. So anyone else? I think Ayush is not unmuted. Okay, can we, Prashanti, can we close this session? You have.
Yes, sir. Okay. Sir, we just need to follow the 7 steps.
Yes, sir. We can close. Sir, maybe you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah. I've unmuted. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sir, thank you so much. It was an wonderful session with lots of insights. And maybe if people have any questions, they can write to us and we will pass it on to you for further very good things.
Yeah, sure. I think someone was talking.
No, sir, that was, I accidentally, I had to unmute all and there was some disturbances.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think that is one person who has raised his hand. Can we take that and close this? Close it? Okay, sure. Fine. Yes. Lower that hand. No problem. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. I thank all the participants for being so attentive. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Startup TN. It's my pleasure and honor to share my thoughts with all of you, particularly the entrepreneurship community. I believe you will all do well, really. I pray for your success. Particularly this 2024 will be let the new year be a very bright year for you. Thank you so much, Prashanti and team, for organizing
Thank you, sir.
this.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.